At 11 o'clock, an iTeam investigation is now attracting the attention of Kentucky's Attorney General.
Last night, right here, the iTeam uncovered multiple documents from the state crime lab at LMPD, which suggest LMPD top brass and detectives not only dropped the investigation into a violent rape, but also chose not to have evidence tested.
Tonight, we can report as a result of the iTeam's investigation, Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear's office is reviewing LMPD's handling of this case. Here's the iTeam's Derek Rose.
When he announced a new cold case sexual assault unit in January, Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear made a bold prediction.
Every safe kit, every single one in Kentucky will be tested. Kentucky's number of untested rape kits by the end of this year will be 0. No exceptions and no asterisks.
All of this is Louisville.
But an investigation by the iTeam found at least one case that would put a wrinkle in the Attorney General's goal to have every kit tested by the end of 2018. It's the sexual assault evidence in the 2008 rape of Celisa Luster in Louisville. For 4 months, the iTeam requested and examined multiple documents surrounding the handling, or as she and her mother describe it, mishandling of the case. The iTeam discovered a letter which suggested the family may have been misled when it was told evidence in the case had been tested and produced no results. When we searched police, crime lab, and prosecutors' records for authorization of the reported testing, we found none. We did find records indicating someone from LMPD headquarters sent down a cease and desist order on the case and that testing of the evidence was not needed. The records also show LMPD asked the evidence be sent back to the department.
I knew this 10 years was going to lead up to them making a fatal mistake. And that's what he did when he put it in writing. When he know, in fact, it had never been tested, he had never signed off on it.
We've yet to receive an answer from LMPD on the discrepancy. A department spokesperson declined our requests to interview department officials. The iTeam was able to catch up with the Attorney General, who promised there would be no untested kits by the end of the year. But Andy Beshear could not discuss specifics of the Luster case. He did tell us it would be concerning to have any police agency independently decide whether a kit was tested or not.
How do you keep these agencies from their own detectives or police brass from making that decision? Oh, this case, we're just going to not handle this.
Well, the law requires them to provide those kits for testing, and anytime we learn about a kit that's not tested, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that it is.
A study published in January focuses on the financial impact of not testing sexual assault kits in Kentucky. The study looked at a third of the 3,000 plus untested kits in the state. It concluded if those kits had been tested and suspects arrested, it would have prevented future crimes, which cost taxpayers $4.2 million. That figure includes economic losses by crime victims, medical costs, lost earnings, and costs to the state's criminal justice system. Luster fears her attacker may have been responsible for other crimes. A spokesperson confirmed the Attorney General's office is reviewing the handling of the Luster case and is in contact with LMPD.
Can you take action against these agencies if you find that they have done things like this, not testing a kit?
Well, we can certainly bring to bear the pressure of the Attorney General's office that we do the right thing each and every time.
Should the evidence in the Luster case be tested, she would rather have the case handled by an agency other than LMPD.
I don't want them having anything to do with it, because I don't think that they will do what's right if they do get their hands on it. So I just have to have faith in God that He will work this out for me.
And while the family does not want LMPD handling the evidence in this case, it's unlikely any other agency would handle it. But again, the AG's office also has its eyes on this particular case.
So we've had 2 nights of this investigation by you. Where does our iTeam look next, and what about the rape investigation as well?
Well, we know the Attorney General's office actually started looking at the handling of this case. They're in contact with LMPD. We're curious to see what, if any, movement has happened with the evidence in this case since we first started investigating. We know from one record, the detective, the head of the SVU, asked the crime lab to resend that authorization letter that was sent to LMPD back in November 2016. That request came after we started asking questions, so we have additional open records requests filed to see what else has been done since we started investigating.
Be interesting to see what they say.
Yep, keep our eyes open.
All right, thank you very much, Derek.